Hey guys, what's up and welcome to another episode of Building Kashyyyk in Lego Week 7. Now last week we took a little bit of a break because of Easter, but this week I'm bringing us back to the world of Kashyyyk. We're gonna be starting to build more on the tree and build up the iconic kind of Wookie pillars we see going up into the ocean and then all the way up into the beaches. So this is gonna be a really exciting update. We're gonna be starting some new build techniques, which I've never done before. So a lot of trial and error go to this. I actually lose some files and stuff. I know a lot of y'all want me to keep working on the trenches and such like that, but next week I'm gonna be getting a massive order in for all the beach. So we'll work on that next week, but let's get into this week of Building Kashyyyk in Lego. So to start off this week of Building Kashyyyk in Lego, I have actually made a ton of progress, but a lot of my files were deleted, so we're just gonna have to get right into the progress I've made here today. First of all, I've completed most of this section of the mock, totally outlining the rest of the wall that goes across for the Wookie tree, and as well starting the root piece right here, building it all the way up. We'll try to build this kind of like other root piece, this other kind of root piece up into the main tree itself. So really loving how this turned out. I did a big time lapse of what this looked like, but unfortunately got deleted. And as well, we're gonna need some more dark green plates right there to kind of complete that look. But I'm really loving how this is turning out, kind of getting this section of the tree all done. And on the top of our tree here, I'm kind of sloping it up, getting it kind of gradually to work its way up. And I'm using more like dark green pieces to give it kind of a variation of like maybe some moss or something on it as well. And then for the main doorway, I actually started working on that and getting the design for our doorway, which is a large one at that, and it's quite unique for like a Wookie tree. So there we have a Wookie right there. Now if you see from this reference image, I'm trying to get this kind of shaped out as well as kind of building it up. So we're gonna have to figure out, and I may need to get some different kind of slope pieces for this to work just right and get those really unique angles for the doorway. But I'm liking how it's turning out thus far. We're gonna have like a little hallway that come inside of here, and we're gonna continue to build up this tree and try to actually get it all leveled out right now.
You're a good soldier, Rex.
So after some time of working on the tree, I think I've made some significant progress on this side of the mock. Now I specifically started working more on this portion of the tree, really getting a lot more height, and I think it's looking really nice with a lot of different shapes and like techniques to try to give it as much detail as I can, but while I'm also trying to build it as tall as possible, because you know, we're gonna get it up here and then start kind of going toward that direction. And then as well, because keep working on the overall kind of root piece of the tree, I brought it up a lot more and started kind of folding it into the main doorway, which I think is just looking super cool. The tree is just coming along so well, and I'm gonna continue to keep working on it throughout the mock build series. But I think what I want to do now is I want to start working on the main Wookie pillars that are iconic, kind of go on the side of the mock. They kind of start in the water, run all the way up through the beach. As you can see there's a pole kind of designating where one's going to go. There's going to be some over here, and some on the other side of the mock. So let's get started on figuring out design and building those right now. So to start off building our Wookie pillars, we're gonna need a bunch of pieces like these. Now these are kind of hinge pieces that give a very circular shape. See, as you know, the Wookie platforms are circular shapes, and that's kind of difficult to get in Lego, but that's what we're gonna try to make a design using these. So what you want to do is you want to stack these together, forming a large circle just like these. You can kind of roll them up together and you can kind of get a circular shape once you get all the right angles. And now that I have this kind of formed, I can use a bunch of these wedge pieces just like these in two different shapes, one like this one and another one like this shape. And you start adding them across the way. So you put one like this right there and you put another one right here. So that's how that's gonna look. And then you put another, then you start adding them all the way across just like this, adding a one by one. It's very tedious, but as you kind of start connecting them, as you can see, they start forming together and getting a nice circular shape, which I'm super excited about. So let's start working on these and start getting a main frame, of how that's gonna look. And here we have the kind of main design for the top of our platforms. And I have to say, I absolutely love the way this turned out with the circular shape. Just captures that perfectly. And the size and the scale of this is just gonna be super cool, being almost like pretty much minifigure scale for these platforms, which is super awesome. That's really what I really wanted to capture. I didn't want any like little baby platforms that are smaller than this. I wanted a full on huge platform, and that's what we got here. Now looking at the back, you can kind of see how I designed it. I have of course the kind of green ring going across. I'm gonna add these gray plates to kind of give it more support down here. And then you can see I added more brown plates going across. And these right here are going slightly over the other plates to make sure they're all stay together. So you can lift it up and everything is okay. And it looks so dope. Now it's time to actually kind of build the underneath part and start building the little platforms that are gonna jut out from the back. Now here is the design I've came up with. So I wrapped around these designs of more of these wedge pieces kind of going all the way across in this kind of triangular shape. So I just kind of laid them all throughout in a circular shape and then put them on like these hinge kind of pieces and these pieces right here that kind of make things spin around so you can kind of get the perfect angle across for the Wookie platform. And then as well, I added these big beam pieces in the middle, these big cylinder pieces that are going to be the poles for the actual Wookie platforms. Now these pieces are actually quite weak on their own, so I have to add a Technic pin inside of these. So that's kind of the issue with these, but I really like how this turned all together. But now it's actually time to place it in the mock. And here it is, our completed or mostly completed Wookie platform on the mock. And I have to say, I am really loving how this turned out as we kind of go back here, seeing the kind of scale it has to the main Kashyyyk mock. And this is just the beginning of them. So in the next couple weeks, I'll be continuing to work on these guys, because let me tell you, this took absolutely forever to get it finished up and kind of plated up onto the actual mock here. As you can see, we have all of these different little parts and pieces that are really nice angled coming down and kind of sit on that kind of plate. And getting this angle was super tough, and getting the structure inside to actually be able to stand up, to actually be structurally sound was a really big of a challenge. But overall, I really liked how this turned out. Now, of course, the middle, I need to figure out how to fix the middle area. Right now I just have this dish piece, but let me know down below, guys, what I could do to fill in this middle portion, because right now I have no idea. So it's going to be just like that at the moment, but it's not going to stay that way forever. Here's the other side, and of course our pole piece at the bottom, which we're going to have a bunch of water and stuff going all through, kind of clashing into the poles. Then we're going to have another one that's going to be slightly taller, and then they kind of gradually go up, and then there's going to be a bunch over on that side of the mock as well. So super cool stuff going to be added with the tree. And the scale of this is what I'm just truly happy about, because that's just one Wookie minifigure on top of the platform here, and there's going to be several. It's going to look so epic definitely from like a far away view of the mock, which I don't really show views like this, but this is kind of what it looks like right now. And as you can see here, I've already worked out another design for the next one right there. And actually there's the other one that we actually looked at earlier right there. So we can make 3 more, maybe not this week, but I'm definitely going to be continuing to work on these because they actually take a ton of time. But I am really happy how this turned out for our Battle of Kashyyyk mock. Now guys, I have made a second platform right here, and this one's slightly different than the other. First of all, ignore this. I am gonna need more Technic tubes to fit in throughout all these cylinder pieces to make it like structurally sound. So I'm just using these bricks right here just as temporary solutions, definitely not final product at all. And also, I went with a different design on the bottom. As you can see here, it's kind of it's shorter. Like I cut this in half, this long design right here. I cut it in half, and I just want to see which one y'all like better. I think I'm definitely gonna go with this design. I feel like this one looks so much better. But there is kind of a shorter version. I just want to see which one y'all like better. The gaps are not really filling in as well, but here's what it will look like, kind of having a second one up on here. I think that looks pretty neat. I have to kind of improve more of what I did in here, kind of structurally inside of here, for this kind of doesn't sag a little bit, but I am really liking how that kind of looks from afar, as you can see right there. And it'll be slightly above the other, just like that. I feel like that's perfect. Maybe a little bit less, I'm not really sure, because there's gonna be like a way for like, you know, people to travel from platform to platform. But it's so cool seeing like this iconic piece of Wookiee kind of architecture kind of coming to life in the mock. Now, I started designing the next platform and actually did it a different way, and it proved to be a little bit more structurally sturdy and just looks better overall. And as you can see, it works out pretty well. There's like no bend or anything at all, and it just proves to be a really nice look for the platform, so we can kind of build off of this as well. And guys, I think that is gonna do it for this week of Building Kashyyyk in Lego. Had a lot of fun and a lot of casualties and difficulty kind of coming up with this week, with a week break, and also just like a lot of just tough work trying to get this design to actually work together. But we made some good work on the platforms. Definitely have to be updating these and letting we'll definitely be working on these throughout the next couple weeks, actually getting those tubes right, or the little poles right, and getting the final design for all of these. I really like how this bottom part looks right here. And then as well, working more on the Wookiee tree that we're always gonna be doing in each week, which we got some really major progress done with this side of the tree. But hopefully next week, we're going to be getting a massive package in of tons of tan tile, so we can finish up the entire beach front here, which would be so amazing. But yeah guys, that's gonna do it for this week of Building Kashyyyk in Lego, and I'll see y'all next time.